I think I've been privileged to be a part of Digivation. Um, this is the third time, actually. Uh, I attended the last two editions, and there's actually been huge improvement. But essentially, every time I attend the Digivation Summit and award ceremony, what actually happens is I get to discover very unraveling, very new, very startling, and very illuminating knowledge about our country, and of course about the future as well, especially since digivation is anchored on technology and ICT. So, because we live today in the world of point-and-click intelligence, which has to do with, the drive for technology, digitization, ICT, then digivation becomes something that's a cornerstone and a spine of not just the way we think as a country, but also the way we evolve, as people who can harness, the very best of technology. So, this particular summit, the one that has to do with innovation and governance, and the way and all of the issues that actually have been brought to the front burner. Again, there's been an unraveling of new knowledge about it, especially as regards how do we, harness the social media and internet and artificial intelligence. And we've seen all sides of it, the positive, the negative. And I think taken from Dr. Umarin's paper, she simply said that, look, AI, artificial intelligence, will not take your job if you know about artificial intelligence. But on the downside, and that was a point that was actually raised by Dr. Baira Gabi himself, we need to moderate the content we put out on social media, especially because we're a country of over 200 million people, and we're a rainbow community and a mosaic of different stories, different lifestyles, different identities. Now, what the social media, what internet, what new technology thrives on is what we feed it about the reality of our lives. So, like the Director General, of NICO was saying, we need to understand who we are, the culture of our identity, our history, so we don't exist in a vacuum. And then the subject matter we put out would be one that will be resonant and something that can actually teach ourselves, our people, more about ourselves and about where we are coming from and possibly where we would like to take our country and our people to. So I think for me, it's a well-rounded summit as usual. It looks at all facets of, technology and the best way to use it without harming yourself while you're using it. Now, for instance, I am here representing His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State. He had over 30 years corporate experience in the private sector, and he was immediate past group managing director of Dangote, and he was one-time MD of African Petroleum. So essentially coming with that private sector savvy, he came prepared to govern. And because he did, he had an economic blueprint. Now, anybody who would have the hindsight to look at political governance by planning for it, by preparing some sort of a document, if it's a technological document, if it's an economic blueprint, and like we've heard one of the speakers say, China has 100-year-old plan about how they want to see their country evolve. And as it is right now, one of their targets was to be like the biggest manufacturers in the world, the leading one, as at 2025, and they've already achieved it as it is. It's been going on for the last 100 years. So basically, now there's a new wave of governments that are coming in, even in Nigeria. It's of course evident for us in Nasarawa State, where we're applying, policy to technology and intertwining all. We have, for instance, in our state, what we call the Nasarawa Economic Development Strategy, which is hinged on everything from an ICT economy to also how you can unravel economic potential, generate wealth, create prosperity, and be able to bring the youth to now know that even curriculum and life values are actually changing. So to answer your question tacitly, I think that we need to just keep engaging government to be more knowledgeable, to not just deal with the politics of leadership, but also the knowledge that actually, drives leadership. So you need to put round, pegs or whatever in the round. So you need to put the right people who have the right knowledge to do what they. And then if these people are driven by a vision that is hinged on their education and their knowledge, it will be easy for them to align government policies to the reality of the challenge of leadership. And I think that gradually there's a turnaround in the country. We're seeing more educated people. If you look at the different sectors, more educated people are coming in to bear, and they're bringing to bear those multifaceted experiences. Well, about 70 or 80% of the population in this country are youths. And youths are characterized by their restless energy, their strength for innovation. We saw during the 2023 elections how social media, sometimes even mob mentality, was channeled by youths. But they were also driven by NSAS angst and their own frustrations of joblessness, unemployment, and unemployability of a lot of people who have graduated from their universities and stayed 10 years without any work. Now, if you look at all of this, you know that we have boundless human capital that we're yet to channel. But if you look at again what is happening right now, I mean, with the current government of President Bola Tinubu, who brought out an 81-page document called Renewed Hope Agenda. In it he says how he wants to create 2 million ICT jobs within the first 2 years. So that is ICT driven. And you're talking about 90% of it being pushed by youths. They're the ones who drive the ICT. So I think that ranging from our dismal performance at the Olympics, where we ended up not even getting any medal at all, you begin to see that government needs to invest more in their youth, needs to educate our youths even more. And for us in Nasarawa State, we're not even just looking at the kind of education that leaves youths unemployable. We're also looking at something that has to do with vocational skills, something that is technologically driven, something they can actually use their hands with. Someone told us that electronic transfer was over 600 trillion. Right here, they just told us that for the electronic transfer that happened, but our entire budget in the country is just about 28 trillion, which means real money is with the population, small and medium enterprises, youth, and people that you can generate, even ICT, even creativity, even the film industry and all of that. So I think that we need to be youth focused, more investment in youth and so on. And I think that if we do that and put youth in front, then Nigeria, with its vast population of over 200 million people, will be able to. Well, the thing is, Nasarawa State right now is what you call Nigeria's new investment frontier. I said to you that we came in fully prepared. So we have had 2 Nasarawa State Investment Summits. They're biannual. And, after 2 years, we have just done the second. The first was titled Diamond in the Rough, which is discovering Nasarawa State as a state of potential. But right now what we're doing is we're looking at industrialization. The key to attracting investment, the key to growing your economy must be hinged on security. Because no industrialist, no investor would like to put his hard-earned money in a place that is crisis-ridden, a place that is easily sustainable to robbery and insecurity and so on. So that means that just as much as you invite investors and make your state competitive, which is what we've been doing in Nasarawa State, you have to put a lot on security. And we have done that, which led to the what you call the establishment of the Police Mobile Training College, which is on the way from Akwanga at Endehu, the attracting of the Special Forces, command sector, and then another place in Doma and Kefi, and then an Air Force base for reconnaissance, which actually takes care of the entire North Central. But beyond that, apart from supporting them with what we call the super camps, there's no red tape when it comes to security in Nasarawa State. So you're really assured that we've been a buffer for the federal FCT, that's the Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, and making sure that insurgents don't leave wherever they come from and stay on the doorstep of the FCT so that they can use our place as a springboard to attack the FCT. And that is why the state has been able to grow from the backyard to the forefront of being one of the top 3 most competitive states in the entire country, and also a new investment frontier that is attracting investments from every sector because of our investment and our emphasis on security. And that is a multi-sectoral sort of approach, multifaceted, multi-vocal, and multi-layered. You're involving everything from ICT to human knowledge, to intelligence, to forest guards, and so on. It's a combination and a contraption of so many ideas.
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events and interviews across business, tech innovation and lifestyle, please like, share and subscribe to this channel, www.youtube.com/digivationnetwork.